Said Gina, I don't have no aardvark in here.
And I was like, that's not my llama.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, hi. How about that cigar?
How about that cigar?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Drew Estate Cigar Studios for episode number 154 of How About That Cigar Live. Thank you so much for joining us live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and for those of you listening after the fact on the audio podcast, thank you so much for listening while you drive down the road, work out, garden, play chess, whatever it is you do.
Yes.
When you listen to your favorite audio podcast, thanks so much for making How About That Cigar a part of it. And of course, we are here in the beautiful, the palatial Drew Estate Cigar Studios, and they are bringing back the Barn Smoker program in 2022, and it's going to be bigger and better than ever before. The 2022 Barn Smoker program will consist of an event in Claremont, Florida, May 13th through the 15th, in Strasburg, Pennsylvania, July 15th and 16th, Ellington, Connecticut, August 12th through the 14th, Hopkinsville, Kentucky, September 30th through October 1st, and the big Savage Feast event in Parker, Texas on October 21st and 22nd. On the Friday night before every Barn Smoker event, Drew Estate will host a DE25 exclusive pre-party where attendees will be the first to experience new cigar launches from Drew Estate. The DE25 exclusive pre-parties will allow Drew Estate to share the excitement of the 25-year milestone with more people in an intimate setting with fantastic food and incredible live entertainment. For more information about the 2022 Barn Smokers, including a full breakdown of ticket tier prices and options, please visit barnsmoker.com. So, episode 154. The studio is looking pretty good, I gotta say.
I like.
We got so I don't know if you guys noticed last week, I put this "Been There, Smoke That" box on the wall, so we can track all the bands we pop into that box every week. Made for us by my lovely wife, who is enjoying a much-deserved vacation right now with her sister and some friends on the beach. So I know they're not watching because they don't watch cigar shows.
They go to Winnipeg?
They went to Winnipeg
for the beaches.
Lie on the beach. Yeah.
That's pretty hot.
So I don't know, for a little sports, the Minnesota Wild did something awesome, which is sort of the opposite of the way things usually go for the Minnesota Wild. Typically, the Minnesota Wild will have, let's say, a 2-goal lead or a 3-goal lead, and little by little, they'll just give it away, and the team, their opponents will win in overtime or something like that. Last night, the Wild were down 3-0 in the first.
Yep.
And it's a home game against the Kings, and the Kings really needed that win. So the Kings were firing like crazy. And Fleury, I don't know what was going on with Fleury, one of the best goaltenders in the last 25 years, and was just getting his ass handed to him in the net. So, and the next thing you know, the Wild just turn on the juice, and they were down 3-0 in the first period, and they end up winning the game 6-3, I think it was.
Yes, that's right.
6-3. Absolutely insane.
Yep.
So hats off to them for actually just showing an incredible amount of heart.
No, actually, Kevin, what you said was they would miss the playoffs, I believe.
You did say they would miss the playoffs, and that is already false. Because they have already clinched a playoff. They've already clinched a playoff berth. So they will. I am gonna go out, although the Wild just don't like to make it past the first round of the playoffs. At least I don't think since 2002.
Yep. Or
something. It's been a long time since the Wild have made it past the first round of the playoffs. I'm going to say that the Wild will make it past the first round of the playoffs, unless the Wild face Colorado in the first round of the playoffs, in which case I just don't.
Worst case scenario.
I just don't know if they're going to.
I won't be able to look the Gutormsons in the face.
No, we gotta face the guys from Cigar Dojo watching the Avalanche beat up on our Minnesota Wild, and the Twins. Baseball, the official regular season baseball has begun.
Season's over.
The Twins, yeah, it's over. The Twins lost their first two, won their third game, and they're playing right now. Last I saw it was 1-0 Twins, but I have no idea what's going on with that.
Scoring updates are always appreciated.
Scoring updates always appreciated live in the comments. And of course, the biggest thing we want to know while you guys are watching How About That Cigar Live, put it in the comments. Let us know what you're smoking. Let us know what you're drinking while we're here on the show.
Especially if you're validating.
And if you're validating, we really need to know not only what you're validating, but give us a little bit of a detail on how you validate.
Yes.
Not too much detail. You know, keep it clean. Keep it clean.
Or not.
I think it's time to bring on our special guest of the evening.
I agree.
And of course, on How About That Cigar Live, special guests are brought to us by our friends at Corona Cigar Company. Corona Cigar Company and coronacigar.com, the internet's largest and easiest to use virtual cigar store. Corona Cigar Company offers you the finest handmade cigars, humidors, and cigar accessories at the absolute lowest possible price. You'll also find unique and limited cigars containing Florida sun-grown tobacco. As a proud American, president and founder of Corona Cigar Company, Jeff Borshowitz, believed it was possible to bring cigar tobacco farming back to Florida. At Corona Cigar Company and coronacigar.com, you'll find the best selection anywhere in the world of cigars containing this special Florida sun-grown tobacco. If you live in Florida or are just visiting, be sure to visit any of the great Corona Cigar locations in downtown Orlando, Sand Lake, Lake Mary, and also the Davidoff of Geneva Lounge in Tampa. For more info on all of that, please visit coronacigar.com and floridasungrown.com. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you would please put your hands together and welcome back to How About That Cigar Live from Aganorsa Leaf, Terence Reilly. Welcome back to the show.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. I played the wrong soundbite, but I'm doing fantastic.
Well, you know, it was the thought that counts.
It was the thought that counts. So I didn't realize this until I was going through putting the show notes together and all that stuff, doing a little prep work. And we owe Terence an apology because while we have had great times talking to you at trade shows over the last couple of years, on the big show right now, the Monday night show, this is the first time you've been on the show in over 2 years.
You guys were big time in me, you know. You get more popular. You get a lounge named, you know, after a company, and then you know the little guys get forgotten. They get thrown to the wayside.
This is
how did we let that happen?
This is the moment where we hang our heads in shame.
Yeah.
No. 2 years. I couldn't believe. Yeah. So welcome back after a long, much too long hiatus to How About That Cigar Live, brother.
Well, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure, my friend.
Yeah. It's been it's so what's been going on the last 2 years? I mean, I can't really think of anything big that's happened in the last 2 years. Can you?
Yeah, pretty much same old.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's business as usual, really. So one of the things that, you know, obviously there's a lot of different things going on in the cigar business right now from a business perspective. And we've talked to so many different companies, and I know we heard from you a little bit about this at the trade shows that, you know, there definitely are some struggles out there when it comes to some logistical things and some supply chain things. But of all the hurdles and the curveballs that everybody in the cigar business has had to deal with, yourself included, in the last 2 years, what would you say was the biggest surprise that, as you look back over these last 2 years, something that was a little out of the ordinary that you didn't think was going to be a part of this whole COVID world-changing supply chain, whatever else may have come along?
Well, I'll tell you, I think I know why. But what definitely surprised me was when COVID hit, I kind of was of the mindset that, you know, people are going to have more time at home. Job security is you know, a little bit off, and hang on 1 second. There we go. Sorry about that. Yeah, job security is you know, an issue. So I thought people would drop the price point. You know, like they would go from smoking whatever they're smoking to something less because they'd be smoking more and they would be concerned about money. And that didn't happen at all. What happened is the price went up, you know, because people were home and they still had their job, and then COVID, you know, checks came in and everything like that, and they couldn't go to to the grocery, or they could go to the grocery store, but they couldn't go to a restaurant. They couldn't go on vacation. They couldn't, the kids didn't need new school clothes because they weren't going to school. And so the price point went up. And so that was probably the strangest thing, or not the strangest, but the thing I didn't expect. And also what will be interesting is if that continues, as the world opens up and, things are a little bit looser now than they've been. And people want to go on vacations again and go out to that restaurant, and there's inflation. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, because we didn't come out with like a $25 cigar or something like that. I mean, we didn't do any of that. I'm not to say that. I mean, not to say that it would be opportunistic or something like that, but like rather than we had projects on the table that were more luxury based, and we had projects on the table that were a little bit more value based. And we kind of focused more on the stuff that was, we didn't come out with something that was super premium, which we'd actually been kind of looking to do, but decided to hold off because of that.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm gonna fire something up here, and we are all smoking the beautiful Cerberus, which we will talk about a little bit more.
She's a Butte Clark.
What's that?
She's a Butte Clark.
She's a Butte Clark. She's a Butte Clark. All right.
When lighting your cigar, it is important to be patient, pay close attention to detail, and focus on the tobacco. In the same way, Steve Saka brings those same qualities to the ultra premium cigars of Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust. Patience, close attention, and focus on the tobacco are the qualities that Saka and Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust have become known for. From Sober Mesa to Umbagog, Dunbarton has a blend that will fit your palate, your mood, and any occasion. Visit DunbartonCigars.com to learn more. So, Terence, let us know what you are smoking and drinking tonight if you are.
Well, great minds think alike. I'm smoking a Cerberus as well here. Right there. It's a Robusto size. For whatever reason, I seem to like the Robusto best. We do 54s really well, that ring gauge. It's a 554. It's not even a ring gauge I particularly have any particular affinity towards, but we have a lot of blends that I find the 54 to be my favorite one and how it smokes. The Lunatic Hombre Libre, the Aniversario Maduro, the Aniversario Corojo. It's just the Supreme Leafs, the ones that fall in the 54 range, seem to smoke a little bit better, in my opinion. So that's what I'm smoking and drinking. I'm just drinking a tasty beer.
Oh, yes.
Love it.
Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, nice beer.
Garrett, you have a little something there that we don't. I mean, we see every once in a while, but you're going upscale tonight with the Heineken NA.
So, for the teetotalers out there, the unleaded brethren and sisters, the Heineken 00 is actually a decent non-alcoholic beer for your average, what I would maybe call piss beer, but it's good. It's good.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
3.5 out of 5.
There you go.
Would recommend.
That's a percentage of alcohol.
Yeah. I've got the Maibach from Liftbridge Brewing Company, which is local, right down the road. Very nice. Just a little taste of Old Forester bourbon, and of course, the lovely Cerberus. I picked up a box of I want to say Lonsdale. Yes. From our friends at Smoke Inn. Use code HBTC for 15% off. Just picked these up not 2 weeks ago. I want to say 2 weeks ago. So that's my wheelhouse. That's my jam. Yeah, Vitola wise right there.
Well, it was great to see you at the Great Smoke. Hope you had a great time. Tell us about what events like the Great Smoke mean to you and Aganorsa.
It's an opportunity just to meet a lot of people that are out there, cigar smokers that really enjoy, I think you get two types at that type of event. You get the hardcore guys. So it's nice to get to spend time with the people that really follow the industry, and, somebody that's happy to meet you, or at least people that are important, who are also there. And then you also have kind of your casual consumers that enjoy cigars, but don't really follow the industry or anything like that. And you get a chance to meet them and, maybe make an impression on them, that they bring them into the fold. And so it's a lot of people. I mean, that Great Smoke is, you have about, I forget what the numbers, it's over 1,000 people that are there.
Yeah.
And then you have all the people watching at home. So it's just a great opportunity. And again, one of the things that I always look at is enthusiasm. That's really so crucial to any industry. If you have enthusiasm, it really helps drive the industry or the business forward. And you certainly get a lot of that at those events that are executed well. And the Great Smoke is a prime example of that.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, we were blown away being the first time that we were at the Great Smoke. It is such a big team of people that put all that together, and Abe does a fantastic job. But he even says this is not about him, that there's literally dozens, maybe hundreds of people behind the scenes putting, dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's. And then during the event itself, just there's it seems like there's no details that get missed. And we always respect that from a logistics point of view, because if anybody who does anything related to planning any type of event, or planning, even if you do project work in your day job, anything like that, we have deep respect for people who really put all the pieces together. And because I could say we've all been to maybe smaller events, maybe in-store events where, things don't line up the way they're supposed to. Maybe, maybe a multi-vendor event where there's, one too many, little snafus along the way. But that is not the case with the Great Smoke by any stretch. Pretty much everything lines up the way it's supposed to, and that's because of a lot of planning and work on their part. And you're totally right. It's got that feel of family reunion, of friends getting together again and swapping stories and just joking and laughing. You remember the time that Eric did that thing at the PCA or whatever it was. It could be any story like that, and always great to get together with people. And we were introduced to the Cerberus at that event, I believe.
Yes, it debuted there.
And absolutely, a very exciting project for those who have been, maybe spending a little bit too much time underneath a rock. Give some of our viewers a little refresher course on, the Cerberus, about the blend and about the story behind the design and the concept.
Yeah, so Cerberus is the third edition of the Guarding the Farm series. So the Guarding the Farm started off as a collaboration between Kyle Gallus of Warped and Max Fernandez of Aganorsa. And the theme was dogs. They both love dogs. They both have American Bulldogs, and we use them to guard our farms. And so each one was named, each size was named after one of the dogs. And then we came out with the Night Watch series, which used our shade-grown Corojo Maduro wrapper, which is a proprietary wrapper that only we currently use. And then now we're coming out with the Cerberus. And with the Cerberus, there's a couple of things that kind of stand out about. One is the packaging, I think, is really sharp. We used a professional designer to do the band. Cerberus is the dog, a three-headed dog from Greek mythology that guards the gates of Hades. I was a classics major, so I have to use this stuff for something. And so I think it came out really nice looking, which is, helps in the humidor. There's so many great brands, and if something catches the eye, it helps kind of, people, see with their eyes before. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. Look at that. Look at that beautiful dog. 3 heads. And then the other thing, which is obviously the blend, we say our leaf is our strength. That's what makes us different. I look like Jake from State Farm, so nobody, I'm not, conveying a lifestyle anyone wants to be a part of, or anything like that. So it's really about the cigars that have to make the difference at the end of the day. And this one uses the new 2012 Corojo seed varietal. And we generally are known for Corojo 99, Corojo 98 tobaccos that are kind of primarily responsible for the signature flavor of Aganorsa. But now we've implemented Corojo 2012, and this cigar uses it as the wrapper. And it's an interesting seed. One, it combines well with Corojo 99 and Corojo 98, which is really important because if they don't, I always say I like lobster and I like chocolate cake. I don't like lobster with my chocolate cake generally. So even though they're good on their own, if they don't combine well, it doesn't work. And so the 2012 combines well with those other two crucial tobaccos we use. And it has an interesting taste. It's kind of in between the Corojo and the Criollo. It's got a little bit more of a leathery taste to it. It's not as sweet as the 99, but it's a little sweeter than the 98. Yeah, and it's got that leathery note. It's got body, but it doesn't have the grittiness that the 98 has. So it's just another showcase of nobody's using that wrapper as far as I'm aware of right now, and it gives you another expression of Aganorsa that's unique.
Yeah, and I like the fact that you finished on the word unique there, because the fact is there's not a lot out there that's unique these days in the cigar world, and this blend, there is something, not that the flavors or aromas on their own are especially different, but the combination, I think, in this blend really is something that we don't see a lot. And I like that difference, that it's you're totally right on the money, that when I smoke this, it's not there's not a lot of that sweetness, there's not a lot of that sort of syrupy sort of, sometimes you'll get tobaccos on the cigar where you'll get a little bit of like almost a syrupy mouthfeel,
yeah,
that kind
absolutely.
of thing. And this, you really, it is more sort of in the middle to back of the palate for me, that there's like you said, there's some leatheriness, there's even this little bit of a almost a campfirey sort of,
absolutely,
sort of thing going on. So yeah, it's I like the fact that it's something you can reach for in the humidor that's gonna go off the beaten path and give you a different smoking experience.
Yeah, and I think that's always the goal. I always kind of compare Aganorsa to like a bourbon bar, for instance. It's like if you go to a bar, the average bar, you want vodka, you want rum, you want gin, you want whatever, and there's an advantage to that, because then there's all sorts of different things for everybody. We're more of a bourbon bar where there's all sorts of different bourbons. There's wheated bourbons, there's cask strength, there's all sorts of different things, but it's always bourbon. And so if you've had bourbon and I say, okay, this is a bourbon, you don't know exactly what it's going to taste like, but you have a sense of it. Whereas if you have vodka, you don't know what the rum tastes like. And we kind of have a stylistic profile that's always there, and then there's different expressions of it. And so what the 2012 allows us to do is to still have, I would say when you smoke the Cerberus, you're not like, oh, this doesn't taste anything like Aganorsa. It still tastes like an Aganorsa cigar.
Yeah.
But there's aspects of it and characteristics that stand out that you say, oh, well, this is a different expression than anything I've had from them.
absolutely.
Sorry, I'm just getting more puffs in there.
Yeah, and I was trying to. There's this, every once in a while you have a cigar and you're really digging it, and you're trying to put your finger on what that note is,
what that thing is.
That thing is.
Yeah,
Sure.
It's there. I don't have a descriptor for that thing right now.
Yeah, I've had a few from this box so far, and I'm with you. I'm still, because even when I'm not officially reviewing a cigar, we all still take mental notes. Even if we don't actually get out a notebook or our phone and take actual notes, we still take mental notes.
Yeah, you're validating.
And, yeah, you're valid. We're always ABV, always be validating.
Always be validating.
and it's there. Yeah, I think
I love it.
Yeah,
and it maddens me that I can't say, oh, this is absinthe and grapeseed oil, or whatever the thing is.
That's quite a combo, absinthe and grapeseed oil.
Yeah, there you go.
I've definitely never had that before.
No.
Yeah, so Terence, I hate to do this, but because it's a very timely subject.
Okay.
I only want to touch on it briefly. And if you don't have anything to say about it, that is 100% fine.
That's quite a qualifier. That's quite a qualifier.
But I'm sure you've heard and seen all the things going around about the great packaging and marketing design debate of 2022.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on it, all the talk that's been going on around it?
Well, let me first qualify this, since you got quite a qualifier there, is that I don't judge how anybody runs their business. I don't pay their bills. How they want to run their business is not for me to comment on. What I can tell you is that if you want me to look at the question, I think there's two sides to it. And there's some legitimate points on both. I would say that in the 1950s, the only people that collected baseball cards were kids. That was it. Kids. There was no adults, or very few adults collecting baseball cards. But in the 1980s, kids still collected baseball cards. But, there's that guy that collected baseball cards when he was a kid, and he made some extra coin, and he bought a Mickey Mantle rookie card for $30,000 or whatever it was.
Yep. Yeah.
And so when I forget how you guys, I think, are a little younger than me, but anyway, it applies. But when I was a kid, video games were for kids. No adults played video games. There's no 40-year-old guys playing video games. But now kids still play video games and adults play video games. So I do think that there a lot of things that the argument is, oh, well, that's for kids. It's like, well, there's all these adult people that partake in it. Now, it could also be for kids potentially, but I don't think people see baseball cards as, is purely for kids. Like if somebody made a series of baseball cards for people in the cigar industry, I don't think they'd say that's appealing to kids, because even though kids collect baseball cards. So on that side, I don't think anyone is trying to get kids to smoke cigars or anything like that. On the other side, the bottom line is that the FDA doesn't really care about the nuances of this. And I think it's a legitimate concern also that this could be, depending on the project or whatever, it could be potentially used as evidence that we are trying to appeal to kids. So that's kind of the best you're going to get out of me on this topic.
Yeah. And
no, that's fair.
That's very well put.
Yep.
It's very well put. And I'll just briefly agree that when the government is working on things like this, they either don't have time or they don't care, or both, when it comes to the nuance and sitting down and listening to every brand owner's discussion points on why they did X, Y, and Z and why it's not. The government doesn't care. They don't have time.
Yeah.
They're just going to look at it and say, could this possibly be appealing to kids? Yes or no. Moving on. They're done.
Yeah.
They're not going to, there's no more questions after that. Moving on. So
yeah, I think that's a legitimate concern.
Yeah. No, I hear you. That's very well put. One of the things that over the last few years, as we've gotten to know you, we've also gotten to know, fortunately, so many other people in the cigar business. And there's a few people that we've gotten to know that consider you to be somebody who has given them advice, has mentored them.
God help them. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. The poor guy.
I know, right? But when it comes to that kind of thing, and I'll throw a couple names out there. Rainier Lorenzo from HVC, and Eric Bay from Black Star Line Cigars, and they've spoken very highly about you and your mentorship and your guidance and that kind of thing. What does that kind of thing mean to you in this whole, crazy world that we're in now?
No, I mean, I'm always happy to help. I mean, again, at the end of the day, you got to give them credit. Like it's easy to give advice. Somebody probably said to Elon Musk, like, "Hey, wouldn't it be cool if there's an electric car?" I mean, I don't know if that guy can take the credit for his success. So I think it's, at the end of the day, you have to give them credit. They're the ones that went out there and did it. But yeah, I'm happy to help. And if anything I've told them or anyone else has benefited them, we're a small industry. I think the more you can work together with people and see their success. And certainly, they both make cigars with us, but even if they didn't, I mean, I'm happy to see anybody do well and succeed. And I think there's plenty of room for everybody. And really the challenges are external, organizations that are against us or wanting to see cigars go away or think that we're trying to, I don't know, whatever else crazy things they think about cigar people. So, the more we help each other, the more that we have a chance of surviving.
Yeah.
So the Aganorsa Acolytes.
Oh, yeah.
That group is a great.
It's very active.
It is such a great
and very positive.
Yeah. If any of you are not members of the Aganorsa Acolytes group, I encourage you to go and just search Aganorsa Acolytes on Facebook and enjoy validation to the extreme and have a ton of fun. Now, I attempted to do a fun little video and becoming a little bit more active in the group. Didn't get the response that I wanted to.
Which video was that?
Well, what the problem is it's not the problem is that if not enough people see it, then it just doesn't fly. So like exactly. It's tricky. Facebook is trickier and trickier because to get the exposure necessary. Sometimes you have to threaten to kill a panda or something, and then everyone pays attention, right. And then you go, okay, here's a 5-pack, or and then you have their. But it's hard. So I thought it was a great idea. We just couldn't get Facebook to give us the exposure for it.
So I did this video, and I basically said, hey, many of you guys may not know who I am, blah blah. Introduce myself, the whole thing, and I said for a contest, make a video and post it while you're validating, and tell us what you do for a living without telling us what you do for a living.
Yeah.
Okay. One of those type of things. And we had 2 entries, and so I was grateful for those guys. Chad was one of them.
Yeah.
And sent them out each, a little 5-pack of Aganorsa via Jay Davis.
Jay Davis.
Love that guy. And had fun doing it. So I'm gonna plan on doing something else again here in probably a couple weeks to take another stab at something fun.
Right on.
Yeah, and maybe I can somehow do the announcing on it or something, because I think I can pin it. I'm still despite my activity, I'm still kind of a nitwit when it comes to a lot of the technological aspects of all this. So maybe there's something I can do to bring greater exposure to it.
Well, and it's not like you've got 45 other things going on.
Yeah.
Well,
maybe you could we should follow Terrence's suggestion, and you should kill a panda live on the air.
Yes.
Threaten to kill one.
Threaten.
No, actually, let's not get me in trouble.
I think I'm already in trouble just using that word. I think we're probably going to get bounced off Facebook and YouTube right quick.
You're on a PETA watch list right now.
Threaten's probably not a good word either.
One of the things that I wanted to find out about is, because believe it or not, we are already underneath the 90-day timer for PCA.
Jesus.
Wow.
So not to throw any gasoline on the fire, but yeah, it's getting down to the wire. It's underneath 90 days. So how what is for those of us who don't work directly for a premium cigar company, just give us a brief synopsis. What is a trade show planning effort look like?
Yeah, I mean, thank God that I don't have to do a lot of the logistical stuff. I mean, certainly I'm involved with making sure products ready in time and things like that, and that kind of things. But the booth and all that kind of thing, which is very important, I don't primarily handle. And that's really the thing is that not sexy stuff is really crucial. Yeah. So if your booth isn't there, or it's not it falls apart, or you don't do it right, or you don't do this, or you don't do that, or you don't book your tickets correctly to the show, or you don't book your hotel rooms right, all that stuff can really screw things up. And so most of the show it's kind of like a movie. You know, you see the final movie and you're like, oh my God, this is amazing. But a lot of that, like of what creates that, is kind of pedantic and not really that interesting. Or in you know, it's a guy sitting in the editing room and cutting and monotonous, you know, kind of activity. And so that's kind of what a lot of the preparation is just making sure this gets there on time, making sure these bands have arrived so that they can be, you know, banded for samples, you know, before the show, making sure all the product gets out to the booth and is labeled right, so it shows up at the booth when you get there, and you don't have to, you know, drive to North Korea or someplace to go find it, and all that stuff, which is a huge pain.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But it looks good, you know, when it all comes together in the end. It's nice. My favorite day of the year is the last day of the trade show, because I'm as far away from the trade show as possible. And that, you know, it's just a lot of work, and it's months and months going into it. But once like I said, once you're there and you're on the floor and you're seeing everybody and people are excited about the product, and then you go out afterwards with them to a dinner, have a drink with them or whatever, that part's awesome, you know, and I really enjoy that. And I think that's important to the industry. All the little details that go into it are trying.
So do you guys have the proverbial, meeting before, you know, I'm sure several months before the PCA, and you talk about what this year is going to look like?
Oh yeah. I mean, that goes on months and months in advance before we even do a booth or anything. We're talking about that kind of stuff. What's going to be there, what will be the focus, what we want to kind of convey. Those kind of conversations happen, you know, even last year they were happening.
Sure. And is there any teasers that you can share with us? Okay, yes, but
well, you know what? See, this is one of the things is that sometimes things get kind of slotted for PCA, and then you're not sure if they.
Right.
Yep. No, we totally.
If they'll be there, so then
Right.
you're kind of like, I understand. So we do have the Anniversario Maduro will be back.
Very nice.
That's as much as I can say.
Very nice.
I love it. We'll take it. Thank you.
When it comes to, you know, because one of the things that has obviously started opening up little by little in some areas of the country, completely open, no worries about that kind of thing. But when it comes to in-store, in-person events, how is that ramping back up again for you guys? And what does that mean to your business? How much of that stuff do you guys do as far as in-person, in-store events goes?
Oh, a lot. To be honest with you, I was doing them back in 2020. I mean, to the extent that they were allowed, and you know, we didn't go. Obviously, we didn't have many in California, but the places where is a lot. I think it's crucial. I think every aspect that we can utilize should be utilized to the degree that it's efficient to do so. So, you know, during COVID, we did a lot of Zoom meetings, and we did a lot of, you know, Facebook Lives and stuff like that. And I think that's great, and it got a lot of guys engaged in that in a way that they hadn't been otherwise. So we're very happy about that. But there's something. I mean, there's really something special about that gathering of people getting together. Again, you were at the Great Smoke and saw that there. Mm-hmm. You know, and having a cigar and that energy is a little bit harder to convey through the internets, as they say. And so to me, they're crucial, and we've been doing them. I think this year, and we were prepared for this, is that last year it was so hectic, it was so busy, like the industry was booming so much that nobody really cared too much about it because it was so hard to get product. People just wanted product. They didn't even need to do an event because everything was coming in and selling. I think this year, as people get a little bit more caught up, and you know, people, as you said, people go back to school and things like that, I think the grind will be a little bit more necessary. We talked about our sales meeting. It's like, listen, we can't just sit on our laurels here. I mean, there are guys that, you know, depending on their territory, that were almost able not to travel at all for close to 2 years, either because they couldn't because of the restrictions, or just didn't really need to go around that much because there was so much. They didn't have anything to really to sell. They couldn't do an event, or they didn't have a product to supply for the event. But now I think that's important, and I've done already. I was in Dallas this year. I was just in Arizona. Did a couple great events. With Fine Ash Cigars that we did their anniversary party. It was just amazing, and it was a great example. You know, just a lot of fun, good people, had a great time. They gave they gave away like a temporary tattoo of me, which was probably why the attendance was so bad. No, it was really well attended. But it was just fun. It's just a lot of fun, and they make it fun, and you work with good partners, and you have a lot of a good time, and it really like I say, the only metric of our success is passion for the product, and you see that happen with events.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, and I have to give a shout out to Don and the team at Underground, because the whole get up of
Dude.
you in the Pope outfit and the design of that.
Let me tell you, I'm the one that got that. They didn't buy the Pope outfit.
Really? That was all you?
Yeah, you can give me all the credit for that. Yeah.
Well, you get it, dude. That was legit.
That was just such a fun concept, and the fact that you like you said you went out and got the outfit and took it the extra mile, that because you recognize the sort of the irreverent nature of it, and the fun, and the go off the wall characteristic of it, and you just ran with it, and I love that.
Yeah, they do a great job. That kind of, they really, that's another good example of an event where you see a lot of people having fun, just a great time, and yeah, they've been calling me Joel Osteen for the past few years. So that's somehow evolved into like the Bishop of Fort Worth or something. So, it's funny because I don't even get dressed up for Halloween. I mean, I just wear what I usually wear and say I'm Jake from Steak Farm, and I don't, it's not something I normally do, but they do such a great job of getting everybody kind of into the festivity that I was like, oh, what the heck, I'll go along with this.
Nice.
It was great. I loved watching you absolve people and the whole thing.
So
it was
funny.
Fantastic.
So funny.
They were blessed. It was a blessed day.
It was a blessed day. Greatest day of our lives.
Greatest day of our lives.
Well, I think is it time?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure?
Oh yeah,
all right.
I'm ready.
It is now time for this week's Numero de los Muertos. And as always, Numero de los Muertos is brought to us by our friends at Smoke Inn. All right, Numero de los Muertos, episode 154. Garrett, you've had a lot of prep work going into this one. I did. You were doing math and all kinds of stuff earlier.
Well, I knew I needed to make it a little difficult since we've got Einstein across the table from us tonight, and so I'm excited.
Okay,
all right, here we go.
Hit us with it.
Here we go. So, in the history of the world, roughly 3,000 people have died here.
In the history of the world, are we talking the history of humankind?
Yeah.
Roughly 3,000 people have died here,
and
in a place,
and it's global.
So we're
yes. Let's go.
Oh, yeah, that's a good guess. Yeah, that's a pretty good
great guess.
Yeah.
No, not the North Pole.
But is it a geographical location?
No.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Yep, I know.
Yeah, this is hard.
Yep.
Why? Oh,
do we get any hints?
Yeah,
well,
we can ask any questions we want to try to get more info. We can play 20 questions with him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was thinking a volcano, but it's got to be more than that.
3,000 people in all of human history.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
And it could be anywhere on planet Earth.
Correct.
But it's a particular type of place you're looking for. He's being so cagey with the.
Yeah.
So in the air, like a flight. It's a great guess. No. Three-headed dog. No. Fluffy or Cerberus did not. I don't think his.
It's not a it's not a place. I was gonna say like maybe Mount Everest or something.
Correct. It's not a individual, or it's not a specific location.
Hang gliding.
No, sir.
So it's in a particular type of place.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's an activity.
So it can be on land. Meatpacking plant. Wow, that's good.
That many people died in a meatpacking plant last week.
Yeah.
Are you seeing some of these countries?
Yep.
True story.
Yep. Very fair.
Are these locations typically indoors in buildings?
No. Yes. It
Doesn't
both.
matter.
Doesn't matter.
Airplanes? No. Commercial? No.
Can be.
Are they typically large gatherings?
No. But irrelevant.
But we're still looking for are we looking for a cause of death or a location?
It's an arbitrary location.
Oh, you are killing me. This is the worst Numero de los Muertos ever.
Well,
I mean,
fall down a well.
Oh, falling down a well.
Nope.
Is weather involved?
It can be.
That's not an answer.
All right. I'm gonna give you,
skiing. Matthew Trenda died in a state of confusion, like I'm about to.
Correct. It's not on the toilet. It's not Uranus.
Uranus, no.
All right. I'm gonna give you guys some dates. Okay. January 28th, 1986. November 22nd, 1963. Those are my two clues.
Earthquakes.
No.
1963. 86 and 63. By assassins?
I've already done that one. But that was
Would you say 1963?
Yep. November 22nd.
Isn't that when Kennedy gets killed?
Yes.
By snipers?
Mm-mm.
Are they presidents dying?
Mm-mm.
No, because which president would have died in 86?
Correct.
What was the date in 86 again?
January 28th, 1986. I remember where I was.
January. Oh,
not plane crash.
I know what it is. I know what it is.
Space shuttle? No,
yeah, space flight. Is it space flight?
Mm-mm.
It's not
60
space flight.
Yeah, 63 is too early because we land on the moon.
63. Well, there would have been some.
Oh, they would have space flight. Yeah, they would have been space flight.
Well, I guess Chuck. Yeah. But that's not it.
It's not 86 January.
So what's the correlation between the Challenger exploding and JFK?
The correlation between the Challenger exploding and JFK's assassination?
Yep. And then let me give you a couple more people. Owen Hart, Lee Harvey Oswald.
Oh, by falling out of the no, I don't know.
Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah, it's a crash.
Crashes?
Filmed dying?
Very close. Very, very close.
They're
filmed on national television?
Yes.
On national television.
Correct.
All right, there we go.
So that's it?
About 3,000 people have died on live TV.
Holy 3,000?
Yeah. So the big chunk was obviously 9/11.
Yeah.
So that was the, biggest chunk that for that number. But outside of that, there's been
Americans or
no, this is globally. So we've got obviously the United States has the largest live TV network, and there's only been a handful recorded that I could find of other places, but there's like a famous soccer coach that died while giving an interview in Italy. There was a luge guy died.
Oh yeah,
on live TV not too long ago
on the Olympics.
At the Olympics.
Yeah.
So yeah, on live TV.
3,000 people. That's crazy considering TV's been around since what,
1950. So the first live broadcast was in like I want to say 51, and I know JFK's assassination was one of the very first live television people to die. Yep. And
he wasn't filmed on live TV. It was recorded and then it was shown later.
It was live.
This is a Zapruder thing? It was
no,
live?
not the but the news. The news had the there were some news outlets that were showing the
parade.
What was the motor
but the actual, that wasn't recorded, the actual assassination live though.
That I don't know. I know Oswald was live.
Yep, Oswald was live.
Yeah. He was
my
live.
My parents watched it. And I know the Challenger. There was sadly there have been a number of hostages that were killed during live stuff. There was a
bull riding clown.
9/11. There was some plane crashes, that kind of thing. That was the toughest Número de los Muertos of all time.
Yeah, that was tough.
I'm not surprised Terence got there.
That was good stuff. All right, so that was this week's Número de los Muertos. All right.
Morbid game.
Morbid game. And our viewers' favorite segment of the week. And don't forget, guys, How About That Cigar is sponsored, or the Número de los Muertos sponsored by Smoke Inn. Go to smokein.com, use code HBTC15 for 15% off your order. Some restrictions apply.
I tried using HBTC 100. And
HBT didn't work.
Didn't work.
I used HBTC 15. I kid you not, to buy this box of Cerberus from smokein.com. So it works. Use it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So it's been a while since you were on the show, and I think you may have gotten the first round of our lightning round questions. But we'll give you some new ones. And lightning round is brought to us by our friends at J.C. Newman Cigar Company. They are America's oldest family-owned premium cigar maker, creators of the popular Brick House, Perla Del Mar, Diamond Crown, and the American. J.C. Newman Cigar Company operates out of their 112-year-old El Reloj factory in historic Cigar City, Tampa, Florida. For more information on their cigars or visitor experience, please visit jcnewman.com to learn more. So, Terence, let's go with some of the fresh, new lightning round questions.
Yes.
Boom.
Yes.
You want to hit some of them?
I want to do
it.
Okay. Here, go down a little bit.
Roll down.
Yep.
Is the lightning round? I need to answer quickly. Like I need one
No,
word answers?
they're just non-cigar related questions.
Oh,
All
okay.
right, Terence.
Got it.
The zombie apocalypse is coming.
Yep.
Okay. What 3 cigar industry people do you want on your team?
That's a good one. Wow. Who do I want on my team? Maybe somebody at Gurkha. They got a lot of knives and things. So Juan Lopez, I'll save him.
Yes.
He'll be able to, help me fight off the zombies. Renier, Lorenzo, because if the zombies speak Spanish,
Okay.
they'll be able to communicate with them.
Yep.
Maybe work out a truce, some sort of live and let live.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And John Carney, because he's a fellow New Englander. We need to save as many Patriots fans as I can.
And I think he's got a few pews.
All right. So, Terrence, let's say you're at the cigar lounge one night and it's karaoke night and you are forced to get up in front of everybody and sing a song. What is the one song you pick?
Doses and Mimosas by Cherub.
I confess I don't know that.
You have to look it up after.
I have to look that up.
Yeah.
That is, yeah.
Yep. I'll be listening to that later. Right on. I love that he was just so.
And it was right there. I mean, you didn't even think about it.
It's the lightning round.
Yeah.
You've done this before. You've done this before. Let's say you could have an unlimited supply of one thing for the rest of your life. And let's say it can't be cigars
or money.
But you could have an unlimited supply of one thing for the rest of your life.
Patience.
Wow. That's just
Good night.
Yeah, good night. That's like the best answer ever.
That is without a doubt the best answer ever.
I just want like a little. I don't want a lifetime supply. I just want a little bit.
Well, I've got very little, unfortunately.
Because these guys know I have none.
True.
I have none.
Go on a road trip or try and build something in his garage.
Or go to a cigar trade show or a road trip with me, and you'll find out how much patience I have. It's like zero.
Yeah,
These guys know.
Yeah.
And this is like the worst industry not to have patience. So
Yeah.
No, I love it.
I have to let's say that's a teachable moment for me.
Yep.
Oh man.
I'll start tomorrow.
I'll work on that tomorrow. All right, let's move into this week's Notable Smokable, and Notable Smokables brought to us by our friends at Ace Prime Cigars. Notable cigars, notable passion, notable purpose. So Terrence, each week we name a cigar that's notable to us that we've smoked recently. It could be a cigar that's been on the market for 20 years that we just smoked for the first time in a long time, or it could be a cigar that's brand new to the market that we smoked for the first time ever. Obviously, with Aganorsa Leaf, you're mostly smoking your own stuff, but hopefully every once in a while you get a chance to go outside of your own portfolio. Is there anything you smoked recently that was interesting to you?
yeah, in fairness, he's my cousin, so technically, there's could be potentially be a bias there. But my cousin did Osos Fernandez. He has a little factory in Dominican Republic, and he's doing stuff for Kyle from Warped and a few other guys. And he did one for La Serena Cigars. He did the Mexican Mermaid. It was really good, man. It was like it was outstanding. I was super impressed by it.
Very nice. Garrett, what was your notable this week?
So this week, I got to sit with Mickey Pegg and Tom Lazuka at a bar in Detroit, and
the whole time you're like, thank God I don't drink anymore. Thank God I don't drink anymore.
Balls, can those guys drink? They can drink, and yeah, no, it was a blast. But I picked up, I asked Tom. I said, I'll be honest, I don't smoke a lot of your stuff, but what's something I need to try? And he said, have you had the PCA exclusive from this last year? And I said, no, I haven't tried that one yet. He was like, yeah, you got to try that. And dude, I was blown away. And so the Asylum PCA exclusive 2021 was phenomenal.
Nice.
Yeah. Really enjoyed it. Bold flavors.
My notable this week was actually so our friends from the Cigar Coop team, the Cigar Coop media conglomerate media empire. Aaron Nielsen, who's a member of that team, he was actually up in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area a couple weeks ago and hit us up and said, hey, I'm going to be in town. So we're members at a local lounge so we can stay after hours. And we hung out there till late into the night and talked with Aaron and for a while. And he gave me this cigar, this Plasencia small batch exclusive, little short box press. And that cigar was, especially the second half of that cigar, was just lights out, crazy good. So very good cigar, and shout out to Aaron for that one. Very nice one. So that was this week's Notable Smokables, brought to us by Ace Prime, improving lives through fine cigars. Please visit aceprime.com to learn more. So, to give our viewers and listeners an idea of some very, very cool stuff you will not want to miss coming up soon. Next week on the 18th, we already mentioned his name once. He is going to be on the show next week. Jay Davis from the Blue Smoke of Dallas, and also
Jay.
a PCA. I know. We're so excited to finally have him on the show. Also a PCA board member. So we're gonna go probably a long show because we have a lot to talk about with Jay on that show.
Mm-hmm.
And then finishing out the month of April, we have Fred Rui, who is cigar industry staple for many years, but now with the team at Illusione Cigars. Very excited to have him on the show. So Terence, give our viewers and listeners the best idea where they can keep up with all the great stuff going on with Aganorsa Leaf.
Oh, thank you. So we have several options. Our YouTube channel is great, Aganorsa Leaf Experience. We've got great videos of farms, factories, our Cuban agronomists, our Nicaragua team. It's a lot of great stuff on there. Instagram and Facebook, Aganorsa Leaf. As you mentioned, great group, Aganorsa Acolytes. That's our private group. A lot of great people in there. We're validating all the time. And you can also follow me, Terence Reilly, on LinkedIn, Twitter, and even TikTok. You can find me there too. So,
MySpace. Do you have a MySpace?
MySpace.
I tried. It wouldn't let me. I think it's gone.
We've talked about dipping our toes in the TikTok pool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to talk to Kevin from Cigar Prop because he does it really well, and we're going to learn from him and try to get some advice and figure out the whole TikTok thing, because I think it's the next big thing.
I think so. Well, yeah.
We gotta go there.
We do.
Might as well.
You know what?
Just have fun with it.
And if you guys if we get 5 new TikTok followers in the next hour, we'll do a video tonight.
Well, I'll go one further than that, because we need to go on a subscriber drive for our YouTube channel. Because we have to be over. We're at 450 subscribers. We have to be at 500 so we can start doing the YouTube Shorts / TikTok thing. And it's a whole algorithm thing. But yeah, we're gonna work on that.
All right.
Yeah, right on. Terence, thank you so much for being back on the show. Sorry it has been 2 years, but always a pleasure talking to you, brother.
It's like good wine. It just got better with age.
That's right.
It sure did.
And we will see you at PCA, and just keep doing what you're doing. We love everything that's been going on with Aganorsa Leaf. You're a big part of that, and keep up the good work.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
All right, viewers and listeners, guys, thank you so much for being the best part of How About That Cigar Live. If you were watching live on Facebook or YouTube, please make sure to like us on Facebook and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on all social media at HBT Cigar. And of course, guys, until we see you next time, burn cigars,
not bridges.
Take care.
Thanks, everybody.